Well, good evening to everyone. Hello, hello. Thank you all for joining me tonight. First of all, I want to apologize for not being here last night. Just was having that really bad day again, missing my boy. It just gets to you, and I had to just take some me time yesterday. So, thank you all for being here now. I do appreciate everyone. I hope the weather's being much kinder to everybody. Well, hello, Chit Chat. Thank you for being here. Hi, Miss Kathy. Thank you. Hi, TJ. And hello, Melissa. Hi, Blue Jeans and Pearls. Melissa, we got a new lollipop, guys. Thank you for that. Thank you, Melissa. Let's play a welcome to the South for her. Here we go.
Welcome, welcome to the South. We break that good stuff out. We got enough to go around. So can I get it right and get down? Welcome to the South.
Welcome, Melissa. Thank you for becoming a member. And we got Miss Cher. Hello there. Thank you for being here. Let's see who else we got up in here. We got Native Girl. Hello to you. Hope you're well. And Ginger Girl. Hey, Miss Janice. How are you doing? Goodness. Thank y'all for being here. Hey, Blue Eyes. Hope everything's going better for you. Got our Brown Eyes girls. And Jacqueline. Hello. Marina Girl. And Miss Peggy. Hello. Thank y'all all for being here. We need to share. We need to drop her channel. Hang on, let me add you. So there you go. You should be able to add her channel now. Got you on there as a moderator. So that way you can drop it. If you have her channel link, go ahead and drop it. And tomorrow night we're going to go to Miss Tammy's. She is starting up a new true crime channel. So we want to support her. We had a good time on shares the other night talking about summer. It was really, really good. I look forward to doing more of that. So, well, I hope everybody's good. I am doing better. But I tell you what, depression is a real thing. It is very seriously real. And if you have never had to deal with depression, count yourself very lucky because it will really get you down. It really, really does. So I have been fighting it and I was not going to go live today. And I was like, nope, I need my friends. Oh, someone wrote a song for summer. That's amazing. We need to get more focus put back on her for sure. Things just need to be resolved. And it is so sad how these kids can just disappear and nothing. Thank you, Cher. Yes, Melissa, definitely send me the link. We'll play it for sure. That would be awesome. Good deal. No, I just try to be on here at least, as much as I can and I just couldn't yesterday. Just could not do it. Y'all would have just heard me cry. That's it. It was just one of those sad mama days. I had 2 days of it, and today I had to fight my way through it. I got up, and it was just a struggle, but I'm here. I feel better, and hopefully I go up from here. Hey, Lady for Justice, thank you for being here with us. Hi, Ida. Hope everything is good. Y'all are so sweet and amazing. I know a lot of people are live, but I was trying to squeeze a live in while I could. I have some really great information I want to put out on Sebastian's case. And I didn't want to wait. Hi, Charles. Thanks for being here. So, thank you, Cher. Okay, guys, so let's get started. I am going to play, and I know y'all are all sick of hearing Shell Fisher and his ramblings from the Lore Lodge, but I want to play one little small clip because I want you to hear it before we move forward. So please be patient. Please don't hate on me for putting his voice back out here. But hang tight. We're going to do this real quick. And here we go. Oh, not that one. Let's take that one down. We're going to wait and play that one in just a minute. Let me play this one first. Okay, listen to his words real carefully.
Not a problem, Mike. So I was on the Riley Strang case, and listen, I had no intention of getting involved in this case either because my former PI partner, for lack of a better word, we didn't have an agency here, but we did all our cases together. She's based in Nashville. Mm-hmm. She was actually on the case. She was retained by staff, and she is an amazing investigator, and there's absolutely no reason for me to be involved. And you know, one, I mean, she went to brought me in, she didn't need my help, and two, it'd be weird, you know, like, you know, like it just wasn't an option. I wasn't going, you know, I hadn't talked to Chris or anything. Right. But what I was doing, just as a civilian, is I was putting on my Twitter some based off search and rescue, you know, theory and analysis and planning, you know, areas that I thought were search grids that were smart.
Okay, you heard it. Heather, the PI that worked for Seth, was partners with SF Investigations. They worked closely together. He thought of her highly. So his words, guys, out of his mouth. Now, I want y'all to watch this piece and listen very close.
There hasn't been any new updates in the Sebastian Rogers case, so I wanted to go back and discuss something that was found last May. So I don't know if you guys remember, but there was a PI who was working for Seth Rogers. Her name was Heather, and she actually found some items between a storage unit and a store close by to where Sebastian went to school. Now, what she found was a box with some items in it, and at the bottom of the box, it had the name Katie on it. This is it right here. She also found a mattress pad. This is a photo of that right here. Now, this mattress thing is biomagnetic, as you can see on the label. A lot of people tend to think that biomagnetic things help children with autism, adults with autism. Here is an article of that right here. Now, allegedly, law enforcement did not take it in, so Heather took it, and who knows what she did with it. We know that she isn't working for Seth anymore. Now, this is the area where this stuff was found. You have the storage unit right here, an area of nothing, some brush, which is where the items were found, and then that store. Now, let's take a look at the map. So this is the Proudfoot's home. This right here is the school that Katie apparently drove to see if Sebastian was there on February 26th. Over here is where those belongings were found. You can actually see that she could have gotten her car, drove to the school, drove to this area where these things were, threw them out the window, and then drove back to the home in a path that made sense with her looking for Sebastian. So what did Heather do with these items? Did law enforcement ever get these items? And if they did, were they tested? If they didn't, why weren't they tested? If these items are directly related to Katie Proudfoot and Sebastian Rogers, that would be huge. And let's just say that law enforcement doesn't believe that these items were thrown there between February 25th and February 26th. They still should have looked at them, investigated them, checked them out, because they could have been put there weeks prior, months prior, and they could hold valuable information when it comes to this case and understanding this family. So let me know if you guys have seen this information before, heard this information before. If not, what do you guys think? Do you think that this could be connected to Sebastian's disappearance? Let me know in the comments. Make sure to follow for more updates on this case as well as others, and I will talk to you guys later.
Okay, so we all heard about that a very long time ago, right at the beginning. I believe she found, her partner Chloe found a knife as well. The piece of cardboard has Katie's name on it. The mattress pad was very, very stained. And yet she says she called law enforcement and they did not want that. Strange, isn't it? That law enforcement would not want anything that could potentially be connected. Now, this was very, very early on, just days after Sebastian went missing, that they were out there searching. Now, we're going to listen to Mr. E, Mr. and Mrs. E, and Aunt E. They're going to talk about Worshams. So let's listen to that real quick. And they will show photos of how close the storage building that Katie and Chris rent a unit there, how close it is to the store.
Oh,
Or do they mean
the family. I'm like, ooh. Well, it says Worshams are involved.
So if you don't know, just before we get into the video,
Sure. I can be pulling it up while you're talking.
The reason these locations are interesting, Beach High School, we actually timed it today, is just over a minute away from their neighborhood.
Well, you were driving super slow.
And I was driving really slow. And it was like a minute 30. So we figured it'd be more like a minute 10 from a normal person. So anyways, it's about a minute away from their neighborhood. And if you recall the story of the morning that Sebastian was reported missing, Katie gets into her car sometime after 6:20 and around 6:20 and drives up to the high school, supposedly looking for Sebastian there, thinking that he just went to school with no shoes on, and is driving around their parking lot. And then another part of the story is that the Worshams Market, which is right across the street from Beach High School, like a little gas station marketplace that he's showing you there.
Okay, I'm pausing. Okay, my camera work is not great today, just so you know.
There are several reports, including one from one of the former PIs for Seth and other individuals, that claim that they saw grandmother Proudfoot, or Bowersox, Chris Proudfoot's.
Take a second, get your names together. Lots of names.
Kathy Bowersox was here sometime before 6 o'clock at the market, which would be a pretty good distance from her home, and a huge coincidence that she was there the morning that Sebastian went missing. Another interesting thing about this is that behind the general store, there's a very small storage building place that we're going to show. And there are rumors that one of those units is owned by the Proudfoots.
Not owned, rented.
Rented, right, rented by the Proudfoot family. And that we do know that police have been to both of these locations trying to gather footage, video. So what we thought we would see is what would it be like if Katie drove through these locations? What could she have been doing? What are spots she might have stopped to meet someone? Could something have, would there be blind spots at these stores where they could have made an exchange if, say, Katie had Sebastian in the trunk or something along those lines? You know, all of those things. Would all of these activities have been recorded? And we just didn't know. So that's kind of what we're doing here, going back through this. So do you want to? So we're going to start here with Worshams, correct?
Yes, and I had
the gas.
I know
The gas is a good price at Worshams.
I know. What was I going to? Oh, so I'm looking at our thing, and it says we have 159 likes, but we've got 300 viewers. That math doesn't add up. So I would appreciate it if you guys would hit the like button so that we can get seen in the algorithm. We are a very small channel.
Yeah.
And with your support, we can maybe do more things. I don't know. What do you call?
More people can join.
I want more people. We can talk more. We can talk more. We can talk more. And yeah, all that stuff. I'm not good at this, guys.
No.
Sorry. Are you laughing? I'm not. You just said, yeah, you're not good at it. I know I'm not. Okay. So again, the camera work today is a little spotty. So we have two separate videos here. The first video is my video of Worshams, and then we have a second video that's all cameras. So,
right.
All right. So here we go, and we'll just kind of talk this through. This is Worshams. I'm going to make it big. So we don't need to be on the screen for this.
This is across the street from both the Beach High School and
right.
Well, the Beach High School, the elementary school, and the middle school are all on the same giant property together. Right. So this is across really kind of from the elementary and the middle school.
Sorry. I don't know if this will show up very well, but I want Mr. E to read that.
Oh, I don't know if I knew this. W. Smith says, here, the Worshams. Chris angrily stated in one YouTube video that he will call two of the Worshams involved. The Worshams play a part in this somewhere.
Well, W. Smith, if you could email us. Olivia, would you mind to put our email address in the chat, please? If you would email us that interview, I would appreciate it. I'd like to see it.
That one's news to me. That might be one of the interviews we have.
I thought I had them all. I have a big timeline with all these interviews. So
but
I would appreciate it.
Information.
Of course, you could have slid it into a Sling Blade impression somewhere. And
that really bothered you.
It did. The Sling Blade thing bothered me.
Do you know if they have searched the storage facility?
I don't know.
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
No.
Someone asked in the chat. Now I'm not aware.
All right.
I know they went there looking for footage, and I don't know what they got.
All right.
So
let's
that's
go ahead.
part of what we're interested in here.
Without further ado.
Yeah.
Okay.
And for what it's worth, this is a pretty busy, pretty busy gas station. Lots of cars.
Okay, so I was trying to zoom in on the camera there. Like I said, guys, this is not high quality. And I got a little scared because there was a car and turned around. No, I'm just kidding. I just kind of wanted people to see how close the beach storage is to Worshams, which is where Kathy Bowersox was
So
seen.
we're at the back of the store and going toward that storage facility.
Right.
So if you thought
there is the storage facility, friends, the same storage facility place right there at Worshams, where there was the cardboard that had Katie's name on it, the mattress pad that was very stained up, and there, I believe, was also a knife that was found as well. Right there. Just a few bushes in between.
thought that might be.
I'm not trying to zoom in on the menu. I'm trying to zoom in on beach.
So if you were thinking,
okay, this is the other side of Worshams. Okay.
Yeah.
This is something I found interesting. And sorry about my finger. I told you guys it's not a good one. That at least we'll know if somebody steals it for their channel because my finger will be in it forever.
Yes. So we kind of jumped back to the gas pump area, and there's this creek down to the side.
Yeah, and it's got
little
a trail.
paths and trails, and
isn't that convenient? What a place to hide evidence and stuff, possibly a body.
I'm sure these were areas that police went to almost right away in their search, because you would think to go along creeks and trails like this. So I'm sure they went down here, because this would be a logical place for a runaway to try to slip through.
Right. And so that's just kind of give you some bearings on the thing. And now we are starting to see signs again. And so I took a video of one of the signs. We're starting to see these again in the area. So that makes me really happy. I would think Terry Lynn probably has something to do with this.
Why did they not use a more recent picture? I mean, he looks like he's maybe 12 in that picture.
Is that not the optimism picture?
I mean, that's not one of his older pictures.
I agree with her on that one. Why would they use a young picture? Car guy, I have no idea about unit number 10. I don't know what unit the Proudfoots had. I just know that they had a unit rented there. And those items are, we're going to play the TikTok one more time for everybody coming in. We listened at first to SF Investigates, who tells us out of his own words that Heather, who was at one time Seth's PI, is a partner of his. He works very closely with her. And to hear that, and then to hear what I'm fixing to play, makes you wonder. Listen to this.
There hasn't been any new updates in the Sebastian Rogers case, so I wanted to go back and discuss something that was found last May. So I don't know if you guys remember, but there was a PI who was working for Seth Rogers. Her name was Heather, and she actually found some items between a storage unit and a store close by to where Sebastian went to school. Now, what she found was a box with some items in it, and at the bottom of the box, it had the name Katie on it. This is it right here. She also found a mattress pad. This is a photo of that right here. Now, this mattress thing is biomagnetic, as you can see on the label. A lot of people tend to think that biomagnetic things help children with autism, adults with autism. Here is an article of that right here. Now, allegedly, law enforcement did not take it in, so Heather took it, and who knows what she did with it. We know that she isn't working for Seth anymore. Now, this is the area where this stuff was found. You have the storage unit right here, an area of nothing, some brush, which is where the items were found, and then that store. Now, let's take a look at the map. So this is the Proudfoots' home. This right here is the school that Katie apparently drove to see if Sebastian was there on February 26th. Over here is where those belongings were found. You can actually see that she could have gotten her car, drove to the school, drove to this area where these things were, threw them out the window, and then drove back to the home in a path that made sense with her looking for Sebastian. So what did Heather do with these items? Did law enforcement ever get these items? And if they did, were they tested? If they didn't, why weren't they tested? If these items are directly related to Katie Proudfoot and Sebastian Rogers, that would be huge. And let's just say that law enforcement doesn't believe that these items were thrown there between February 25th and February 26th. They still should have looked at them, investigated them, checked them out, because they could have been put there weeks prior, months prior, and they could hold valuable information when it comes to this case and understanding this family. So let me know if you guys have seen this information before, heard this information before. If not, what do you guys think? Do you think that this could be connected to Sebastian's disappearance? Let me know in the comments. Make sure to follow for more updates on this case as well as others, and I will talk to you guys later.
So, guys, we have Shill Fisher that tells us Heather is his partner. They work well together. We have Heather, who was Seth's PI, and her partner, Chloe, working for Seth, out searching, finds items, supposedly called and let law enforcement know they found these items between the storage building and Worsham's. Law enforcement did not take the items. One has a piece of cardboard. It had Katie's name written on it. Looked like a flap off of a cardboard box. We know that the Proudfoots have a storage building at that place right next door to Worsham's, the little convenience store across the street from the schools. Now, friends, it doesn't take a genius to figure out if Heather and Shill Fisher were good friends, partners, worked together. Law enforcement did not take those items. Nobody knows where those items are. Are those items being held away from law enforcement now? Why have they not been turned over is my question. Have they or have they not? Because if they have not, then I'm going to almost guarantee, in my opinion, that Shill Fisher has those and is protecting his clients because that's what he's getting paid to do. We need to know where those items are. I pray law enforcement has them. That mattress pad was so stained up, it was disgusting looking. Made me sick in my stomach to think what it possibly could be. And for her partner, Chloe, to have found a knife, seemed to be like a steak knife, is what I heard. Who has those items? Are they being put away somewhere? Did they throw them away? Are they locked up somewhere? Because we know at the beginning law enforcement was not doing what they should have been doing. In my opinion, law enforcement at the very beginning of this was in protective mode of their friends. We've also heard, friends, the story of three different people calling law enforcement to let them know they saw Kathy Bowersox sitting in the parking lot at Worsham's around 5:45 the morning Sebastian was reported missing. And at the time, her and Katie were driving the same vehicle type in the same color. But they said they saw her, Kathy, at Worsham's. Katie herself has told us, I drove to the school to look to see if he was there. All she had to do was go just a tiny bit more down the road to make it to this convenience store. Excuse me. So here we have articles that possibly could be very, very important to this case. I questioned, was law enforcement ever really called? Because I don't know that I trusted the PIs. They seem to be more taken up for Chris and making excuses for Chris than they were doing anything to help Seth. And to find something like that, if local law enforcement did not want to take those items, I would think she would have called the TBI, called someone else. If it wasn't county, call local. If it wasn't local, call TBI. There's other people that would have took those things. Those items could be taken easily. But there wasn't a whole lot of effort, from what I'm understanding, that was made to make sure they got into the right hands. So my question now is, are they in the wrong hands? Are they being hidden away? Yes, I agree, Brianna. They were not helping Seth. They were making excuses for Chris. I was so tired of hearing that from Heather and Chloe both. Supposedly the storage units were checked. Supposedly they were, is what we've been told. But I do wonder. I don't know Heather's last name's Bobby. I'm sorry. I don't. But I just wonder, where are those items now? Did she throw them away? Or did she hand them over to her other partner, who comes in and gets on the stepfather and the mother's side after Heather is no longer employed by Seth? Heather Cohen, that is it. Yes, yes, yes. There we go. I think that's it. I had heard it, but I just wasn't for sure on it. But it does seem real sketchy to me when I heard SF saying that Heather was working for Seth at the time he heard about Sebastian's case. And it was after she was no longer working for Seth that he started to talk to Chris and Katie. Guys, 2 + 2 = 4. 1 + 1 = 2. Those are things that will never change. We heard this with our own ears, him saying Heather was a partner of his, and he highly respected her. Then we hear that she found the box with Katie's name written on it. Now, mind you, folks, supposedly, according to the other side, that was a lid off of a box that had pictures in it that they supposedly Seth planted to be found. Already have, Charles. It's already reported. So where are those items is my question. Why is it that law enforcement does not have these items? I don't understand if Sumner County comes in and says, oh no, that's just stuff out of their storage unit. It's not of importance. There's a child missing. There was a child missing at the time. The mattress pad that actually looks bloodied up was found. Why would someone put that bloodied up, nasty mattress pad inside their unit? It didn't come from inside their unit. It was a type of mattress pad that the biometrics of it was used for soothing and helping autistic children. Sebastian is an autistic child. You saw all the shrubbery, the greenery around there, around Worsham's and the storage unit just a minute ago. Why not throw something over there away from the home? No, it was just a mattress pad. Amelia, not the mattress, it was a mattress pad. And it was very bloody and stained looking. I don't know what was on it. I can't say it was blood. It did have that type of look. Yes, yes, Susan. These people are playing games and missing children's cases. They're deranged. This is a game to them. It's nothing but a game. It was a pillow type. Let's look at it again. Hang on just a minute. Let me see if okay, I don't think I did. If you see two of me, hang tight. I'm going to mute out. Maybe it won't squeal so bad so I can load this. Okay, got that done really quick. It went fast. So, let me, oh, nope, nope, nope. Not that. Here we go. This is the piece of cardboard. Can y'all see that? That is the piece of cardboard that says Katie. It looks like the words senior, and then it looks like photos. Now, here is the mattress pad that was found. It looks like a very nice mattress pad. I don't know what would cause the staining. But if it had been out in the elements for very long, I would say it was probably darker. So yes, those things should have been turned into law enforcement. And I want to know if they have. If they have not, who has them? She found them outside of the unit in the woods, opinionated. They were outside, and there's a little bit of brush and shrubbery between the storage unit and Worsham's grocery store, little convenience store there, which is just down a little ways from the school. that she went to look for Sebastian. Just a reminder to everybody that's came in, we remember hearing there are 3 people that called a tip into law enforcement that at 5:45 that morning they saw Kathy Bowersox in the parking lot at Worsham's. And Katie didn't find Sebastian missing until 6 o'clock in the morning. And for Mommy Socks to drive all the way from Gallatin to Hendersonville to park in the parking lot at Worsham's at 5:45 in the morning, people, please, somebody tell me I'm not crazy to think there's a connection here. So what did Katie meet up with her mother-in-law for that morning on her route to the school? What would yes, I am, TJ. I am crazy. What would Kathy Bowersox need to be sitting in the parking lot at Worsham's right next to the storage building where the brush and all the shrubbery were? It's crazy. But I think, guys, those 2 pieces could be very, very important. Only because, and I say this because, where are they now? Where are those items right now? They're not being used and put back out there somewhere for someone to find. They're being hidden. If law enforcement does not have them, they are being put away so that it's not talked about anymore. And I still question, did she call law enforcement? Because I'm not sure she did. And if she did call law enforcement, and they said, no, it's not what we want, or that's not something we need, why did she not call another department? Zoot, I'm with you on that. That dump that caught on fire is very close to where Kathy Bowersox, Danny Guy, Big D live, and not far from where Secondhand Generation, that is owned by all of them, is at. I agree, Car Guy. I agree. Exactly. They missed CJ's class, didn't they? Yeah. And at the beginning, I honestly believe law enforcement was on a whole different path. It wasn't suspicious to them. Nothing. It was a missing runaway child because Katie put that narrative out there. So crucial evidence that could potentially be very important to this case was overlooked, thrown away, discarded, whatever, because it had nothing to do with a runaway child. And yet this mother is the one that gave them the narrative that her son ran away. This has been a whole complete setup from the very, very beginning. If they found the mattress pad, not to worry, because that probably didn't come from their storage unit, because nobody's missing or dead at their home. They just have a runaway. A runaway might not have a mattress pad that's suspicious. But when it turned into an investigation, those things would have been very, very important. Yes, CP is the one that gave the narrative. Yeah. According to Katie, she woke up and he was gone. He had left out that front door. Hello to everybody coming in. Thank y'all for being here. Appreciate you all so, so much. I just can't understand how those items are nowhere to be found. How crazy is that? How insanely crazy is that? And it links reality. I saw Reality Wins pop up. Hello, Reality. Love you. It links Heather, Seth's XPI, and SF Investigations. They are partners. They've worked together. They are loyal to each other. She finds it, says law enforcement didn't want it, and now it's nowhere to be found. Hello? He's the one getting paid by the Proudfoot family that couldn't afford to send Sebastian to a school to help the child, but let's pay this man to protect and to distract and to do everything possible to get the spotlight off of them. So where can those items be? Okay, let me put it down there. Let me get it. I can't believe that we're having to talk about this. And I can't believe when I heard him say the other night, the connection between him and Heather. It started clicking in my mind. Something's not right here. Okay. Miss Cher's going to come up with us. 11 months later. Yeah, 11 months later. Where is it? Where the heck is it? That is my question of the day. Hello, Lori. But think about it, friends. They were looking for a runaway. They were looking for a child that was out in the elements. Hello, beautiful.
Hi. Okay, a couple things that you're saying. So I'm at work and listening, so I'm like screaming at my phone.
You're
I'm like,
good.
I'm just gonna ask the link. So when you're talking about, sorry, hold on one second. I'm making mop water for work. Cleaning up before I clock out. Okay, so one thing that I really dislike that's the same in Sebastian's case and Summer's case and probably other cases too, but for sure those ones that we've all, digging around in. I don't trust people. So like with Katie or even Candace and Dawn, we have now both men. Chris wasn't there. He was hours away. Dawn wasn't there, but these two guys are the loudest in these cases.
Exactly.
But I want to know how you feel. So if I'm Katie and I'm waking up and I'm shocked that my teenage son is missing, I feel very uncomfortable when people are calling and already have a whole story of what happened. Don led us down where he thinks the exact trail was walking down. How would you know that? And I understand, like, I would probably have a million things running in my mind, but that goes with my point too. I wouldn't be just set on one thing if I'm actually shocked my child's missing.
Right.
I wouldn't
Exactly.
just go with one narrative and put that in the mainstream media and try and get everyone to follow that one narrative. I want all the narratives looked at because I don't know what happened.
Right. Totally. But yet they have stuck to the fact that he walked out that front door.
Yeah. And that's why I think maybe if he did walk out that front door, someone coerced him to do so.
I think
Go look for a dog, take the flashlight or something, take the guard, whatever. Someone told him to go outside.
Carried him. My opinion is someone carried him.
Yeah.
Hello to Tammy. She's in here. Her Barnes and Noble.
Hey sis. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, I see the name. There was something else too, but I don't want to really interrupt, but I just wanted to see how you felt about that because that's the same in both cases. We're being given a narrative. There's another case I dig around in that, they called 911 and the first thing out of their mouth is, we got a suicide. And I don't believe that case. It's Christian Andriacchio. But I don't believe that was a suicide at all. But that was the 911 call. Hey, we got a suicide. Well, how did you know that if you weren't even home or you weren't there, you were out buying food? You know what I mean? Like, so again, people calling 911 with already a narrative when, for me, I feel like I wouldn't just want one. Don't just look at, the dog trail, whatever, and then they bitch at us when we do look at all the other options except the narrative they're feeding us. Why? If you really don't know what happened, I don't get it.
Right. And I honestly think the whole runaway story could have been possible for Sebastian.
But who would? If he would I'm pretty sure his phone was pretty monitored in that house.
If he would have gotten to an argument with his mother or something and got mad and ran out, I could see that happening just because of the outburst and just being aggravated, angry. But what I cannot see is him leaving barefooted. And I think the shoes was an accident. They forgot the shoes.
That's what I think too. Because why would you put shoes on if you're carrying him out? Like you said, you wouldn't need the shoes.
Right.
And she did that thing to her throat. He was already like the hand signal. We all know what that is.
Yeah.
And then I got one more question before I hop down. I want to know how you feel that we all know it's public information and it is factual that Chris Proudfoot's a liar. He's lied to Nancy Grace. He's a liar. Lied. And we're supposed to believe someone that his mother is paying for to be a PI. We're supposed to believe someone and take his word for Bible and him ruling out people, whatever. But he is a paid, so that's very biased, PI for someone who we all know lies.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
It is insane. And they don't understand why we stick up for Seth, because Seth did this 10, 15, 20 years ago. And I'm like, but Katie and Chris did this to Sebastian. All those CPS cases were done against Sebastian. That wasn't 10, 15 years ago. That was recent.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about what has happened to Sebastian. but they have nothing on Seth to talk about except for old stuff. But they'll twist and turn it to make it sound like it's recent.
They do, but then if you read between the lines and listen, I've heard Katie praising what a great dad Seth is. How he would always show up. He would always do that. And then you hear Chris too, like, oh, Seth is, working. Seth did pass a polygraph and whatever. And it's like, wait a minute, what's
right? And what got me the most was when Elevated Truth, who is very close to Katie and Chris, he was calling out some stuff one night on his channel, and I played it not too long ago. He said, I'm supposed to believe that Katie, Chris, and Seth had this super great working relationship where they were in contact with each other. They talked about Sebastian together, made all the decisions together, and the child goes away and Katie's not going to say a word to Seth.
Mm.
And I was like, that right there to me proved Katie's guilty. She can't talk to Seth because she will.
I think she's got a lot of guilty knowledge. I think honest, in my opinion, I'll say, I think the loudest person has the heavier hand in it.
Exactly.
In both cases.
Yes.
But I do think that in both cases, the mothers who were both last seen with the children definitely have guilty knowledge and know a lot more.
Exactly. And I think that's why Katie will not talk to Seth. She hasn't talked to him except for when he walked in. He said Katie looked at him and put her phone up to his face and showed a picture of Sebastian that weekend and said, see, he was happy.
Yeah.
And then everybody else started talking for Katie to Seth. And Katie won't talk to him. And, I've told my story.
I wonder how much of that's controlled too,
Exactly. I told my story. My husband and I were in the process of getting a divorce when we lost our son. He came in the house and came straight to me. We held on to each other through the whole planning the funeral, everything. We were there. We were together. That was our son.
Mm-hmm.
And yet I couldn't imagine giving him the cold shoulder and not looking at him or talking to him. Because that was our son. It didn't matter about what our problems were.
Mm-hmm.
That was about our son. And Katie will not even acknowledge Seth. But I believe there is a lot of control. I believe the common denominator in all of his marriages, the bad seed is him.
Yeah, his entire family. Look what they all did to Nina on behalf of Chris,
Yes.
Okay, I have to get a bunch of stuff done. Thank you for the link, but I'm gonna be I'm still listening. You're on Bluetooth, so listen at
All
work.
right. Thanks,
Thank
girl.
you.
Take care.
We'll talk soon. We'll talk tomorrow night. You'll join us on Tammy's?
Yeah, I'll be there.
Yay. Okay. All right. I'll talk to you.
All righty. Bye. So yeah, guys, that's my opinion. I honestly believe that Katie knows what's happened. Whether Katie did something, I don't know. My thought is the handoff between the two cars at Texas Roadhouse was more of a drug buy type thing. Something to help Sebastian sleep is my thought. And he was carried out of the house. And I think she assumed would be taken somewhere. And I'm not sure if he was ever actually taken somewhere to be taken care of. That's my opinion. Oh, of course, anytime, anytime. And if anybody ever wants to come up and speak or whatever, y'all just let me know. I'll drop the link. I have no problem with that. That thud she heard, I worry. I worry. I wonder what it was. I think there's some truth in what Katie and Chris both say. You just have to listen. You have to watch because they're giving themselves away. And in the whole time we have seen them on lives, we see little slip ups. And like Cher mentioned, she was going to the school and she got up to the school and she put her hand around her throat. He what, Katie? He what? This was played out. It was a narrative. And I honestly believe that Shill Fisher and Heather Cohen have those items and are putting them where they cannot be found. And that's just my opinion. Okay, the link's there. Tammy, if you want to come up, you're welcome to come up. If anybody else wants to come up, you're welcome to. Tell me your thoughts. I'm good with that. The story was a complete distraction. His eyes, I agree. It was a complete distraction because all that did was send everybody away from the house to look for Sebastian. Took all the focus off of the house. They were not sitting there in the house, going through the house, looking at every tiny little detail and all that. They're out away from the house looking for a runaway child. And you can't tell me that was not the very first distraction we had in Sebastian's case. I would argue you're wrong. It was the very beginning of all the distractions. And they've just gone on and on and on and on from here. It is absolutely horrible, friends, to think that law enforcement could see this mattress pad. And at the top is a box. At the top is that box. This box with Katie's name on it. And to think that law enforcement says, no, that's not important enough. We don't need that evidence. Because he was a runaway. We're not looking for a child that may have been had his life taken, maybe. That's not what we're looking for. We are not looking for an injured child, someone that harmed a child. That's not our investigation. Our investigation is out here looking for evidence that he might be sleeping here. Well, he wouldn't sleep on that. And just a box of Katie's senior photos. right next to the mattress pad. Early on, those things were found. Law enforcement didn't need them. I wonder if they ever called and said, hey, those things might be of importance now that we're investigating, now that this is a criminal case. Can we get those back? If that was the case, did she give them back, or did she give a story that she had discarded them herself? Because surely you're not going to just leave those laying out there. Yes, they were real photos of Katie in the box. Yes. And there was a storage building right next to Worsham's. And in between where Katie and Chris's storage building was and Worsham's is some bushes, and that's where those were found. Just a thought about the garage or whatever. My thing is, I wonder if something happened at some point, and as they pick him up to take him out, they're going to cover him up, and they grab the mattress pad of some, I don't know. Barnes and Nobles, I agree with you. I don't think he is still with us. I want to so bad. I want to. But there's too much being hidden, trying to distract away from all of the lies that Katie and Chris both have told. Everybody's trying to put everything on Seth, all of it out there. They wouldn't be doing that if Sebastian had just walked out that door and ran away. Katie's best friend, I would like to know one question. Was she still there? Because I had heard she had been there for a couple weeks. Her and her husband were in the process of splitting up, and I heard she came. She had been there for a couple of weeks. Was she still there? Because Seth mentions Chris's mother and her best friend were with her when he got to the house that morning. That's what Seth tells us. She was there. There's too many questions in this case. There's too many things that are so obvious. That's okay, Brianna, that is not Lori. That is, I want to say it's the neighbor that Katie's talking to there. But let me get back on and add another picture in here because I do have it. Let me see if I can just pull it up on my phone, and I'll show you Katie's best friend, Lori. That's what I had thought of at first, that was her, but it was not her. It was, I believe someone said it was the neighbor. And I thought she looked a little older to be best friends with Katie. And I was like, well, okay, maybe, But no, and that was not the best friend's husband because they were in the process of splitting up. And let me see where it's at. I have got so many pictures, guys. Oh my gosh, my phone is piled full of pictures, screen recordings, little videos, and it's all just Sebastian stuff. And then I got to get through all my grandkids' pictures and then get back to Sebastian. But I'm getting close to it. It should be right in here somewhere. Hang tight, guys. Let's see. It is. It should be right here in this group of pictures. Here it is. Okay. I'm going to turn on the camera. Hang on just a second. Y'all don't laugh at me. I got out of the shower, did nothing. That is Katie's best friend, Laurie. And that is her ex, or soon to be ex. Now, the picture we have, oh my gosh, I just lost it. The picture we have of Katie leaning across the car is the very next morning. And guys, I'm not joking when I say she is wearing that same outfit. Let me see if I can find it. Yes, they've talked about him not being on the internet, but yet he did that class for school, and that was a online class. He had homework in it and stuff. A lot of what they say do not make sense. I think they were saying all that stuff just to make it sound like he had no way to have any interaction with anyone outside of the house. Just to confuse people even more as to, well, how did he leave the house? Why would he leave the house? Because he wouldn't just leave on his own. Now, has anyone heard the letter to Seth? Have you seen it? Heard it? I think it was she had one of her kids with her. One of her sons was there. And I think it was her oldest one, not the younger one. I can't find that picture. I will keep looking, guys, but there is a picture, and it was taken that morning. And she's leaned up against a car talking to a lady and a man. I was told it was the neighbor. Here it is. Okay. Can you see what she's wearing? It is the same outfit that she had on at Texas Roadhouse. Did she not go to bed that night? And that, I believe, is a neighbor. It looks just exactly like what she wore to Texas Roadhouse. Now, I can't prove if it was taken that morning, but that's what they say. Her hair's in a ponytail still has on the same outfit, it looks like. I don't know. But seems to me she might have had a very busy night. Was that Clue and Cletus maybe? I don't think so. But it may have been. I don't know. Because we can't even trust that whole thing, friendship there, because at first they came out, they're like, oh, all about, oh, excuse me, I didn't mean to sneeze. That came out of nowhere. But at first they were all, Team Seth, poor Seth, here's their house, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden they're over there on the other side. And it's actually, there's a connection in relatives between them. So I think people are playing both sides. I think people are playing over here, causing havoc, getting information. Poor Seth and T Rev's woman. I won't even mention her name. She's not worth mentioning. She was being all nice to Seth, being a friend, getting close to him for information. And she took copies of the CPS report that is nobody's business. Maui's son, the lady in the picture with her leaning against the car, that is not her friend, Lori. The other picture I showed you a while ago was her friend, Lori. A lot of people assumed that was her friend, Lori, because they knew she was there. Yeah. If she deleted him, yeah. It's a crazy thing that here we are, just 2 days away from being 11 months since Sebastian went missing. 11 months, guys. And yet, we're having to talk about things like this that nobody would have ever thought much of at first. And everything just got pushed by the wayside. But here we got to go over some more stuff, more things we have to talk about. I didn't want to show that mattress pad. That was gross. But it's coming up on a year. This child needs to be found. Law enforcement, I pray, has had a change in heart and are starting to do their job. I just pray it's not too late. And I hope and pray more than anything that they have that mattress pad. And they have done DNA on it. Because if that belonged to Sebastian, that is not good at all. And it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking to think that law enforcement would not have taken that, bagged it up, and just put it in a box in case it was needed later. But they were going with the mother and the stepfather's narrative. He ran away. Exactly, SW. Everyone wants answers, but Seth needs them. Seth needs to be able to breathe if his child is alive and found and brought back. He needs to be able to just have a good breath of relief. And if he's no longer with us, Seth needs to be able to have closure. He needs to be able to start that grieving process. It's not something you get over in 1 week and leave and go on vacations. Trust me, it's not. I couldn't even come on here yesterday and talk. I just couldn't do it. All I could do was miss my son and cry. And it's almost 5 years. It's almost 5 years. And those days still happen. Seth has a long road ahead of him if that is the narrative. And he deserves it. Just like Brandy Vaughn, she deserves to know where little monkey Michael Vaughn is at and put her baby to rest. She needs that justice. She doesn't need to be fighting cancer of the worst kind right now without any big hope of a great outcome. She doesn't have a lot of that. And to have to worry about her son. These parents need justice. These parents need to pay for what they're done if they're responsible. And right now, everything is speculation. Everything is an opinion. We do not know what law enforcement has or does not have. But to hear that Heather tells us that law enforcement did not want a bloody mattress pad when there is a child that supposedly ran away, it doesn't make sense. And now that I know who her partner is, it makes sense. More distractions. And to listen to that man say, if I found evidence that Katie and Chris were guilty, I would turn them in. No, he would not. He would lose his paycheck if he did that. That's not what he's getting paid for, folks. And there's a letter that's been put out by another channel to Seth. And basically says that you'll never find your son with having RICO cases. First of all, the RICO case has nothing to do with Seth. Seth did not file those. The lawyers filed those against people who are talking bad, mad crap and enticing their audience to attack and to take that narrative and spew hate. That is what that is about. There's a lane you should stay in and a lane you should not cross. And they crossed a lane. And therefore, they're responsible for that Rico case, not Seth. It's disgusting how they want to portray things and turn things around to make it as if Seth is horrible when we all know he's a grieving father. But it's up to law enforcement to do their job. It is up to law enforcement to make something happen. Yes, SW, I could play a little short clip for you real quick. Listen to this, guys. For those who have missed it, I'll play this real quick so you can hear it from his words. And it won't be my words. I don't want y'all to take just my words. Let's listen to SF himself.
Yep. Not a problem, Mike. So I was on the Riley Strang case, and listen, I had no intention of getting involved in this case either because my former PI partner, for lack of a better word, we didn't have an agency here, but we did all our cases together. She's based in Nashville. Mm-hmm. She was actually on the case. She was retained by staff, and she is an amazing investigator. And there's absolutely no reason for me to be involved. And you know, one, I mean, she wouldn't have brought me in. She didn't need my help. And two, it'd be weird, you know, like, you know, like it just wasn't an option. I wasn't going, you know, I hadn't talked to Chris or anything. Right. But what I was doing, just as a civilian, is I was putting on my Twitter some based off search and rescue, you know, theory and analysis and planning, you know, areas that I thought were search grids that were smart.
So yeah, he rambles on some more, but Heather was his partner. They had worked all their cases together. And therefore, that makes me understand why, when listening to web sleuthing, how Heather is being very protective of Chris. It's just funny how those things are working out, how things are really starting to connect. And it's his words, not my words. It's my opinion that they are the ones that are causing Sebastian's case to turn into the biggest circus YouTube has ever seen. Those of us over here covering true crime cases were just fine. There were little squabbles, disagreements, blah, blah, but there was not the bullshit attached to it all until Sebastian's case. And I honestly believe, in my opinion, guys, just like the narrative of Sebastian running away, Chris created the narrative. Let's cause some distractions and make them look the other way. You have Seth, who is a father, crying and hurting. And you have a stepfather who's hot-headed, egotistical, and just downright disgusting, who wants to control the whole narrative. and you have a mother who cannot tell the same story twice. Oh, SF, SW, when I heard SF say that the other night, I got sick to my stomach. I'm like, oh my gosh, this has been going on that long. That's how long all this crap has been going on. And like I said earlier, when Chris calls law enforcement and tells them Sebastian ran away, that's when the distraction began. They took everything away from the house and off there being the focus. They did not want to be the focus. They wanted everything outside of that house to be the focus. Stay away from here. It's out there. Go out there. That was the very first distraction on day one. Oh, if you heard the letter to Seth, it's just, it's more of a distraction on why he should put the RICO case away, because he's not going to find his son because of the RICO case. Guess what? The RICO case means nothing to us. It does not pertain to us. And we will continue to do what we have to do to call out the BS and to focus on Sebastian. There's a channel called, I think it's called Breaking the Chains. And there is a letter to Seth that she reads. And if you ask me my opinion, there is a creator on the other side who is connected to Netflix. And this is a letter she wrote, and that woman is reading it. I have information on that. It's already been turned in. Oh, he uses Ellie to squirm. Yes, I'll get Bobby and Carter. He got really pissed, didn't he, on that one? I'll get Bobby and Carter and we'll sit down and hash this out. Well, guess what? Your friend Carter told us that he does not tell you what to do, what not to do. Law enforcement does not tell you what to do. They did not advise you not to take a test. They did not advise you not to say this, not to say that. I've even heard him say, law enforcement advised me not to speak on that, but has told Seth to make sure he told everything he knew. What? Yes, I agree. Chloe supposedly found, while they were looking and found the mattress pad in the box, supposedly she found a steak knife as well. And her and Heather are partners, and it's just a big happy group, I believe. And it is the saddest, most sickest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. A mother who is not guilty will not plead the fifth. A mother who is guilty doesn't talk much because she's afraid she's going to slip up, just exactly like Katie did. Yeah, K-Mac is just more distractions and more junk put out there. It's insane how much all the bickering and the fighting and the slinging mud at each other it's horrible. It is absolutely horrible. And they say that their channels are about Sebastian. Don't put his name on there. Don't put his name on a channel that's going to use every cuss word in the English language. Don't do that. Blackmail is illegal. Yes, it is. They just don't care. Oh, I tell you, friends, I wanted to talk about this. I wanted to put it out there. I wanted everyone to know SF and Heather Cohen, the PI that used to work for Seth, are partners. Heather found, while she's searching, a mattress pad that is all stained up between the storage building and Worsham's. She finds right beside the mattress pad a box that had Katie's name on it. And it's right beside the convenience store that 3 people called in a tip to say Kathy Bowersox was parked at that store at 5:45 the morning that Sebastian went missing. Folks, there's a lot of coincidences. There's a lot of things that if we just stop the crap and go back and look through, we're going to find it. We're going to get it figured out. Because we have the heart for Sebastian. We want Sebastian found. We're all here for the same reason. We're not here to attack anybody. We're not here for anything else. Oh, brownout girl, you're fine, sweetheart. You just take care of you and your pup. We love you. Exactly. Holly S. Why? For dollars. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. And for Heather to say that she called law enforcement and they did not want the mattress pad, is that because they were looking for a runaway boy, not a boy who had been harmed, possibly? Or did they just not want it so they didn't have to have any type of connection to their friend? So does Heather have those items? Does does she give them to him? Oh, thank you, Kelly. That's so sweet. Welcome to being here, and we're glad you're here with us. It's insane. Hi, Deborah. So, guys, with that, I'm going to get off of here and let y'all go. Oh, thank you, Kelly. But y'all stay alert. If you see something, if there's something out there that looks off to you or something, screenshot it, screen record it, whatever you need to do. If you feel it's something that needs to be turned in, make sure to turn it in. If it's something you're not sure about, email it to me. I'll turn it in. It's either we work hard together or we're going to be just like the other side. Oh, thank you for those kind words, SW. I do appreciate everybody being here. Um, like I said, I apologize for not being here yesterday, but it just wasn't a good day. So I wouldn't be doing anybody any good yesterday. So thank you guys for all your kindness today. I appreciate it. And guys, don't forget, Sebastian is still missing. We still have to stay strong. We have to stay vigilant. We still have to find answers and pray every night that law enforcement is doing what they're supposed to do. Because all we can do is sit here and do what we've done tonight. We can't go and arrest anyone or question anyone. We're doing what we can. So with that, I'm going to say love and hugs, everybody. I'm going to do my best to be back on tomorrow, and we'll chat then. Until then, sweet dreams. Love you all. Bye.